You can't tell me that you're ready and then the video starts and you're not there. Press conference will be starting shortly. Please take a seat.
All right, we're on 2 o'clock. Yes, go?
Yes.
Okie doke. I promised today was going to be crepe-tastic, and it is going to be crepe-tastic. I've got a lot of things that you can do with a very simple recipe for crepes. And I'm going to make this crepe batter using my sourdough cast-off. So I have this sourdough starter that has been going on. It's, what are we on, 4 weeks now? I don't know. It's been a long time. So I'm going to start with that. And this recipe you're going to make in the blender. So it's 1 cup of sourdough starter. This is the mix of the flour and water that's been sitting on the counter, and every day I take about this much out and either make a bread or a pancake or a waffle, or today a crepe batter. And then once you get that in there, don't forget that you have to go back and feed your starter. So I've been using a 1/2 cup of flour and a 1/4 cup of water. Flour's getting weird out there. People aren't hoarding flour. There's plenty of flour. There's plenty of wheat in this country. The problem is more people are at home and more people are at home baking. So that 5-pound bag of flour that you're used to seeing in the grocery store isn't available. They have to convert over from the restaurant and the bakery size, 25, 50, 100 pounds of flour, to making now more household packaging of the flour. So if you go to a big box store, you know, like BJ's or Costco, you can probably get a 25-pound bag. If you go to Restaurant Depot, you could definitely get a 25 or 50-pound bag. Split it up with your neighbors if you have to. John was able to find some flour yesterday, so I'm back with my starter and I can give you this crepes recipe. So in there is that 1 cup of the sourdough starter, and just showed you how to feed your starter. And then it's going to be a pinch of salt, 3 eggs on my cocktail shaker, and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. That's it. That's how it goes in there. Those are your ingredients. I'm just getting my over here. Over there. So then we're going to blend this in the blender. Okay, this is probably going to be a little too thick, and we're going to put a little bit of milk in. How much milk? That's a good question. It's thinner than pancake batter. I don't know, that might not need it. I'm going to just put a tablespoon of milk in here and blend it one more time. But you'll see when I go to the pan and start cooking it why it needs to be a little runny. Now you're supposed to let this sit for 30 minutes, but when Jade and I did it this morning, we didn't, and we didn't have a problem with it. So let's go now. Now comes the fun part where we see, can she blend it? Can she bake it? All right, so I have a non-stick skillet here. I'm just do this little one, and pan spray. You could also do melted butter and brush it in here with melted butter. Get a good liberal amount of pan spray and make sure the pan's hot. See how it's hot? Well, this technique involves a little flip. Just put a little bit in. I'm going to make a few of these, so we're going to get to see it again. That wasn't enough, so I'm going to add a little bit more. If you add too much, you could pour it back. You're just making a very lacy covering on here. And then when I take them out and then let it cook, that might be a little high. You could kind of peel it away from the edges. You could do it with your fingers if you've been a professional chef and you don't feel on your fingers anymore, or you could do it with a spatula. When we did this morning, we had a little problem in the middle with every one of them sticking. So I'm going to let it go a little bit longer there. And then you can kind of like, if it's not sliding out easily, it'd probably slide out easier with butter, you could coax it out of the pan. And I like to put a little piece of parchment paper in between each one until I've cooked them all and I'm ready to go. So then in between, you can scrape out the little remnants there and respray your pan. So go right into the middle, with about, I don't know, half a cup. It's all going to depend on the size of your pan too. It's a little 6-inch. And you can see that it's just this wrist and shoulder and elbow rotation. And then the edges are going to cook first. So coax them away from the pan. And then get your spatula underneath there to get it moving. You can also buy frozen crepes if you don't want to do this, but this is a handy little way to make these light pancakes. And then I'm going to show you that there's so many things you can do with these. Oops, little piece of paper in between. Coax that puppy out of there. Back on the stove. Repeat. And keep going. All right, this one I put a little bit extra in just to show if you get too much, you can pour it right back into the container. And then this lacy edge cooks first. But you can see that this part down here is raw. That's not cooked down there because I put too much in. Just to demonstrate what you could do. All right, keep the paper going. Bad. I thought this was going to be a disaster, but no, it's working fine. All right, I'm just going to do one more because I want to show what you can do with this one. Well, two. I'm going to do two. This one I made for breakfast this morning. Another good way to do this is to put the mix into a squeeze bottle, and you could also measure it out. Once you figure out exactly how much you need, you can measure it out. So on this one, I'm going to let it cook a little bit, and then I'm going to put these chocolate chips right inside here, like this, and a scoop of peanut butter. This is what I made Logan this morning. He said it was great. So then we're going to fold it in half, and we're going to fold it in half again. So you get this like beautiful like butterfly wing triangle type crepe, and the peanut butter and the chocolate chips are going to melt up inside that. So that's one thing that you can do with it. And now I'm going to show the second one. This is a crepe that in the 1980s, when I was a junior in high school, I lived in Paris, France as part of school. And every day on my way home from school on the Avenue Niel, I would stop by this creperie. It was a little takeout truck. Where they made them on the big crepe pans. You can look that up, the big crepe pans, and they have like a crepe ladle. And what they did there was they would pour the dough in, and then they would put powdered sugar. I can't look up there, I'm looking down here. Powdered sugar and cocoa powder right on the crepe. And then it would melt. I'm telling you, this was the best thing ever. I had this every single afternoon. So good. I was like 16 or something. I could afford to eat this every day. And then same thing, they would fold it into this little pair of butterfly wings. And the cocoa and the sugar would melt inside here. I guess I want to cut these open now, so you can see what it looks like. All right.
Take a bite out of them?
You can. You can. Watch out, they might be hot. Just make the rest of these so that I can... How's that?
Yeah.
Like one of the best things you ever ate. Wait, is that...
Peanut butter and chocolate sandwich.
Peanut butter and chocolate chip. But this one, look at this one. This one just melts. The chocolate just melts inside there. Mm-hmm. It's so good. Okay, you guys are probably sick of seeing that now, so I just want to make sure that to demonstrate what I want to do. So let's flip over to this side, and we'll go, these are the ones Jade and I made earlier. We'll go savory crepe first. So this brown part, which was the down pan, that's your outside of your crepes. And then the inside part that was, oops, I guess you flipped that one on me. Sorry. This part that was on the pan that's tan is the outside of your crepe. And this part that was facing up is the inside. So this is that ricotta and spinach mixture that we put in all lasagna around here. And I'm just going to fold them up like a little cannelloni and put a couple of these in here. These are all flipped backwards. Jane, my sous chef helped me. I'm gonna put 3 of these in here. This was also another thing that we made a lot of at that restaurant where I worked out in Provincetown, Ciro and Sal's. Cannelloni al forno, I think it was. I can't remember exactly. And I'm going to tell a funny story about that because when I worked in the restaurants, we used to trick each other. So if the people who worked the flagship ate at Ciro's or the people who ate at Ciro's came to the flagship, we would make like a fake meal and send it out to them. And so it was always like a challenge, whatever they ordered off the menu, to make like cardboard veal chops smothered in mushroom sauce. We'd make the actual real dish, but then we'd make the fake food and send it out. And I think there's a tradition that we did that in the beginning at Rainbow Gardens to some of my kids' friends too. But the one time I went to Ciro and Sal's to get cannelloni, they made it out of dish rags, white dish rags, these rags here. And they rolled it up and smothered it in sauce and cheese and put it in the oven, and they sent it out to me. And you know, after you take the first bite, you get it, you were tricked. But then the real one would come out because they would actually make the real one too. So after you put these in here, you want to put more sauce over the top of them. I don't know. We thought it was hysterical. I think Rick Shumitz, I made black bean cakes for him.
No, we made him a filet mignon out of cardboard.
He was so polite. He's like, oh, I didn't want to say anything because you guys are my friends. I didn't want to tell you it was bad.
Couldn't cut it.
And then this Parmesan goes over the top. And then this is going to make a beautiful, cheesy casserole dish. And I got a 395-degree oven here. Oh, look, I left a stone in there. I always check your oven before you turn it on. Rule number 1.
Ah, the dish guy. I put that in there.
Okay. All right, the next one I want to make is... I'm probably going to have to go back and make more crepes. The next one that I'm going to do is I have this caramel sauce that we had left over. This was the evaporated milk can that I boiled last week, and I had it turned into this beautiful caramel sauce. I mean, I was shocked. I read about it, but I never tried it, so I really like that recipe. And then this is just some softened cream cheese that I have inside here, like this. It's going to be my version of a caramel cheese blintz. And then I'm going to trick it out with a French sauce. So, let's see. I guess I'll do it on here. So, roll it up just like that last one I did, only this is sweet, not savory. You could also put a little sugar in here if you want, but I think that caramel is going to take care of the sugar aspect of this. So I'm going to I'll make 2 of these. Make it with this one that has the chocolate sauce on it too. Yep. Proper tool for the job. Okay. And then back here on the stove, I have simmering a little bit more of this caramel sauce with butter. Because this is going to be like my version, and I have some lemon peel in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and add a juice of this lemon. I'm going to get the seeds out of that. The juice one lemon. This is supposed to be oranges, just so you know. Crepe Suzette. It's supposed to be oranges. And then while it's hot off the stove, I'm going to hit it with, take it off the flame, I'm going to hit it with a little Courvoisier. Usually they do this table side for you, and then they flame it for you table side. There you go. Make my sauce. I'm also going to add to this sauce, just because I have it, and it's very French too, is the Chambord, which is delicious. Mix this guy up here. Nice and smooth. And then you can pour this over these crepes here. All right. So that's my version. I take on Crepe Suzette. So we have the chocolate peanut butter, the chocolate, the blintz, the cannolis, and I'm going to give you one more cool thing that you could do. There's other things you could do too. When you have, with this filling, you could put chicken in it. You could put leftover pork chop in it. You could put barbecue pork. We had barbecue pork last night, and you could roll that up inside there. You could put peanut butter and jelly inside it. You could put just peanut butter inside it. You could put your favorite breakfast toppings inside it. But this one, I'm going to show you another way, just because I had this. You can make like a whole layer cake with it. I had this frosting in the fridge. And in between each, so you would smooth out a layer. And then take another, and you could go like 12 high on this if you want. I don't think I have that many crepes. And you're gonna go slower and make it nicer. I'm going quick for time's sake. So you just keep going and stack this up like, 10 or 12 high of crepes. And then when you get to the top, you could just dust it with powdered sugar. Should I go back and make more, or we're good? You got it? Huh? Whatever. So then you put another layer of frosting and a crepe 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 until you got that all done. And then you would slice it. Here, maybe I could fake it by folding it in half like this. Sure. And cut it. So you'd see, so this would be like 6 layers, and then you'd have all the frosting inside with the crepe. Another delicious way that they make this is they make like a chicken noodle soup, chicken consomme, and cut this up in little tiny threads and put that in soup. So that's another thing you can do with it. It's a very versatile, simple recipe. Doesn't have a lot of ingredients. You probably have all these things in your home because we had all these things in our home. Once you master the technique and the heat of making that crepe, you're going to find that lots of uses for a crepe in your household. And today we have Make It Monday. So make it till you fake it, make it happen, make do, make up, make whatever. Yeah, makeup. I should think it's a makeup. Do whatever you can to make Monday just pass by. And John has something he wants to share.
All right. I'm going to go a little something different today. Our friends Renee and Greg and their friend Lori Ross. So Lori's actually an old friend of ours too. They're making these cool masks commercially. They're putting different logos on them. I'm just going to show you a couple of them. I don't like the Beatles, but that's okay.
Neither do I.
So if anybody has a business and looking for something creative, because I have a feeling everybody's going to be wearing these masks for quite a while now.
I saw Jimmy's had them. I saw the Bridge House had them.
Yep.
A lot of the restaurant people were.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put Renee. I'm gonna tag Renee and Lori on the Facebook page once we go live. Post this video live and give you some more information about it. But if you're looking for a low cost, really cool thing to add to your business when you reopen, give them a shout. And
okay. So here's what this is looking like cooking. I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. Everything essentially is cooked in it, so you're really just trying to brown that cheese and get it hot on the inside. But I'm going to let that go a little bit longer. I'm going to set a timer so I don't forget when we leave here. Wednesday, weather dependent. If not Wednesday, then Friday. I think we're going to go out back and take a look in the beehives, because John and I were in the beehives yesterday, and we found some very interesting things. And I have one extremely industrious beehive out there that I have got to attend to, otherwise they're going to swarm on me and all of that work this winter will be worthless. But I think that might be kind of fun for everybody to see that. So we'll go out and check out the chickens in the coop and do something with the bees and see you out back. But it's weather dependent. It has to be warm, not rainy. And that's all until we eat again.